I will try not to be influenced by any outside noise. I'm really happy with my grouping because it's definitely my vibe. I feel like most of the books are books that I would enjoy anyway. Hi everyone, it's me, Jess. Welcome to another video. If you are a new subscriber, a very warm welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name is Jess and I love to talk about books like most booktubers on the YouTube network. I'm very happy today to present my group, which is Group B, for the BookTube Prize Semifinals judging round. There are only 12 books now in the running for the BookTube Prize, and that means we have two groups, Group A and Group B, each with 6 books that have been through 2 other rounds of judging, the first of which I participated in as a judge. I will leave my video of the octofinal round linked in the description box below. Just for a little bit of background for those of you that aren't familiar with the BookTube Prize, it was established in 2019 with the idea being to create an award for everyday readers, particularly people who are active content producers either on BookTube or on social media, but not only, it can also be bookish people who want to participate. When it was started, it was affectionately christened the BookTube Prize. The way that it works is the BookTube Prize is run completely by volunteers. The head honcho is Robert Sheard. I will leave his channel linked. It's through the BookTube Prize channel that you'll be able to find the announcements of the winners in each round. It starts with 48 books in each division, and it runs over 4 rounds of judging by literally hundreds of us volunteers from many different countries across many different social media platforms. And through the judging periods, and I judged the octofinals, it was in over February, March. So as a judge, you're assigned a grouping with 6 books, and you have to rank them first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. When I did the octofinals, there were 11 judges judging the same round that I was judging. 2024 is the 6th year of the prize. There are divisions for fiction and nonfiction books. So if you are interested in reading some of these books along with me while I read them for this semifinal round, please feel free to participate. Comment in the comment section below if you're excited about any of these books, or if you've already read any of these books and you think that they deserve to win. I will try not to be influenced by any outside noise. I'm really looking forward to participating. My name wasn't drawn for the last round, which is totally fine. The time frame for this round is from June to the end of July. The top 3 books in my grouping will then move on to the finals. And then eventually there will be a winner. So today I'm just going to talk about the books in my grouping, one of which I've already begun reading. First, what I'm going to talk about is a book that I bought when I was in the UK. I've been editing my UK vlog, and you guys, I didn't clean my lens on my camera, so apologies in advance. I'm still going to post a vlog, but there's some smudges on the video, and I don't know, I haven't looked at all of the footage. It's very hard to tell through the little view. You know what? It's a story for another day. When I was in the UK, I did pick up Enter Ghost by Isabella Hammad, and it is in my grouping for the BookTube Prize. I can't tell you how long I've been wanting to read this book and how many wonderful things I have heard about this book for probably almost a year now. I remember last year when it came on my radar, I did not have it at my library, and I put in actually a request for the book to be purchased by my library. Then I took the book out from the library, but I was reading other things and I didn't get to it, had to return it, and here we are. It's the story of Sonia and her sister Hanin and their family relationship, but also it's mostly, I think, focused on Sonia, who is an actor and has been living in England, specifically in London, for the past decade and acting here and there, not super successfully, not terribly in terms of the way her professional career has gone. She has decided to take a break. She's supposed to be on vacation or taking a break from work when she decides to go to Haifa, where her sister is teaching at the university. She is approached by a local director, a woman named Miriam that they've known since childhood, to perform in a production that Miriam is producing of Hammad, and it's being produced in the West Bank, and I believe it's being produced and presented in Arabic, but that part I'm not sure about yet because I'm not quite there yet. She's also come out of a divorce and then a subsequent affair with someone in the theater community in London, and so she's reeling a little bit from these relationships that haven't worked out. So very excited about this. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about it. The next one I decided to pick up my own copy of because I'm so intrigued by it, and I think it's going to be right up my alley. Lone Women by Victor Lavalle. I think it's Lavalle or Lavalle. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. This sounds so good. I added it to my TBR for the historical fiction readathon that's being hosted by Shelley. It's about a woman who is traveling to the Midwest from California in 1915. Her name is Adelaide, and she carries with her this enormous trunk, but she has to keep it locked at all times because if she opens the trunk, people start to disappear. So it has this magical suspense element to it. It just says she will become one of the lone women taking advantage of the government's offer of free land for those who can tame it. That she's trying to escape a secret, and her secret has followed her. But the secret that she's keeping may be the only thing that helps her to actually succeed in this adventure that she's embarked on. So it sounds great. I haven't started it yet, but really excited for this one because I have been hearing little murmurings here and there about lone women. Next up is another book that I've been trying to get to for, it feels like forever, Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. Again, I don't know why I haven't gotten to it yet. I guess because I was meant to read it for the BookTube Prize. It will happen, obviously, maybe July. I'm not sure if it's going to happen in June. What I know about Tom Lake is that it's about three sisters who are returning to the family cherry orchard. It's set during the pandemic, so this is the reason why they all are returning there. I don't really know all that much about it, but it's about their mother and their relationships, and their mother's history, the story of their mother's love affair with, because their mother I think is an actor, and it's the story of she is prodded to tell them all about this relationship that she had with a famous actor. That's really all I know about it. That it's set in the pandemic, it's a cherry orchard, it's about a love affair that was maybe secret or maybe secreted, and that's really all I know about it. So I'm really looking forward to reading it. I do love Ann Patchett's work. The only other one that I had heard of in my grouping is The House of Doors by Twan. I'd heard about it because it was longlisted. I'm not sure if it was shortlisted for the Booker Prize last year. So it's a historical novel, and it's set in 1921. And it's about Leslie and her husband, Robert. She's a lawyer and he is a war vet. And they're living at Cassowary House. A famed writer and an old friend of Robert's named Willie arrives for an extended visit, and it causes a bunch of upheaval. Willie is supposed to be one of the greatest novelists of his day. So it's based on real events, but I'm not sure how much of it is true story and how much of it is fictionalized. This character, Willie, is a famous author, but he has hidden his homosexuality, and his marriage of convenience has become really unbearable to him and very expensive, and He's obviously very miserable, and apparently his health is failing as well. So he's really looking to write another book, and he's looking for subjects for his new book. So when he arrives at Cassowary House, that is really what his motivation is for his visit. And Leslie's marriage is also not what it seems. Leslie confides more and more and more with Willie about what's been happening in her marriage, and Willie discovers a very surprising story, more surprising than what he had imagined for this next novel. It involves war and scandal and the trial of an Englishwoman charged with murder. It sounds fascinating, and I think it's going to be really interesting. So I didn't read it leading up to the book, and I had heard mixed reviews, so it does sound quite good. I think a lot of people really liked it. The other two books I had not heard of. I mean, I might have sort of seen this in the bookstore. So this one, Wellness by Nathan Hill. I know that Nathan Hill wrote another book called The Mix because it says so on the cover, which I haven't read. This is quite a chunky book, and I think it's supposed to be about marriage and married life. It just says, when Jack and Elizabeth meet as college students in the 90s, the two quickly join forces and hold on tight, each eager to claim a place in Chicago's thriving underground art scene with an appreciative kindred spirit. Fast forward 20 years, and now they're grappling with the routines of married life. It's about a couple in a long marriage, now maybe many years away from what originally brought them together. So I think it's just about the ups and downs of marriage. They have to learn how to evolve as a couple. That's really all I know about it. So that should be interesting. And then the last one I had never even heard of. So it's always fun for me to make new discoveries when I read books, especially for the BookTube Prize. When I read the books for the Octofinals, I discovered Loved and Missed, which I noticed didn't make it through to the semifinals, but what an incredible book that was, and I never would have heard of it. That's Loved and Missed by Susie Boyd. I never would have heard of it if I hadn't have read it for the BookTube Prize, and I absolutely loved that book. I'll leave a video with my rankings from the Octofinals linked in the description box below. So the last book is also a horror. It's kind of my vibe. The last one I had not heard of is called The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. I've looked for it in the library, and it's out at both of my libraries, but I've put a hold on it, so hopefully I'm gonna get my mitts on it sometime soon. So this one is, oh my god, it's got a massively high rating on Goodreads. Holy cannoli. This has a 4.48 rating on Goodreads. Mind you, it only has just under 3,000 reviews, but holy cannoli. It's described as being a gripping page-turning novel set in Jim Crow, Florida, that follows Robert Stevens Jr. as he's sent to a segregated reform school that is a chamber of terrors where he sees the horrors of racism and injustice for the living and the dead. Yikes, it sounds really intense. It's also quite long, almost 600 pages. I hope that it's a page turner. So it's about Robbie, and Robbie is able to see ghosts. When he arrives, I guess, at this reform school, he must be seeing the haunted, hearing the haunted stories of the ghosts that walk the halls of this school. I think through that, it's going to be a story about, it's going to be about all the horrors and crimes that happened through this reformatory school. His older sister Gloria is trying to get him out. So he ends up in the reformatory because he's sentenced to 6 months kicking the son of the largest landowner in town in defense of his older sister Gloria. It sounds really heavy. Hopefully it's really good. Yeah, so I don't really know very much about it. So I think we got the gist, but it's going to be really interesting to see what I think of it. Those are the 6 books in my grouping for the BookTube Prize. I can't really say anything about my thoughts on the books over the next 2 months as I'm reading them, so they won't be included in any of my wrap-ups, but I will do a wrap-up after the finalists have been announced. I will talk about my rankings and I will wrap up my thoughts on the 6 books. Very exciting. Thanks again so much for checking out this video and spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. and it was affectionately labeled. It was so in the web. She decides to go to. Well, where is she staying? Yeah, so she decides to go. So the only other one that I've heard of, the only other one in my grouping that I can't talk. And and his unhappy and expansive marriage. I'm just reading this from the. Okay, starting over is my favorite thing. I love starting over. I can't tell you how many times I've started this video over. I love starting over. Isn't it great? You can just start over. All right, take 25.